Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Science. In today's video we are going to unveil how our brains process threats, rewards, and dopamine by amygdala. Deep within our brain's temporal lobes, two almond-shaped cell masses help keep us alive. This tiny region, called the amygdala, assists with a variety of brain activities. It helps us learn and remember. It triggers our fight or flight response. It even promotes the release of a feel-good chemical called dopamine. Scientists have learned all this by studying the amygdala over hundreds of years, but they still haven't reached the full understanding of how these processes work. Now, Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory neuroscientist team has brought us several important steps closer. The lab recently made a series of discoveries that show how neurons called somatostatin expressing central amygdala neurons help us learn about threats and rewards. He also demonstrated how these neurons relate to dopamine. The discoveries could lead to future treatments for anxiety or drug addiction. To test how SST plus CEA neurons help us learn, neuroscientists trained mice to associate specific sounds with particular rewards or punishments. They imaged the mice's brains along the way. Previously, scientists had assumed that the amygdala couldn't distinguish between good and bad stimuli. Scientists' team found that not only did the neurons respond differently to rewards versus punishments, but they responded differently to particular types of rewards. For example, if mice received water, their neurons fired differently than if they received food or sugar water. These neurons really care about the nature of each individual stimulus. It's almost like a sensory area which responds to the environmental impacts. The team also saw that the mice's brains fired more SST plus CEA neurons more strongly after training. This suggested the neurons are important for learning. To test this suspicion, the neuroscientists inhibited SST plus CEA neurons in some of the mice. They found that these animals could not learn to associate sounds with rewards or punishments. With the neurons inhibited, the team made another key finding. Normal dopamine neuron responses were also suppressed. While previous research had linked the CEA to dopamine neurons, it was unclear exactly how they were connected. That is direct evidence of how CEA neurons regulate the function of dopamine neurons. These results provide new insights into how the amygdala contributes to learning and memory, and could help us better understand how these processes are disrupted in conditions like anxiety or addiction. The discoveries could lead to future treatments for anxiety or drug addiction. As always, your support means the world to us. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, share it with your network, and hit that subscribe button to never miss out on our latest videos.